Hello everybody, Pink Bunny Girl 43 here, and today is day 3 of Longtail speed paints. We've had so much fun over on our Amino with him as the character of the week this week, and I actually decided to have a little last minute fanfiction contest to have you guys write Longtail's point of view of him getting his eyes scratched out by the rabbit. I've chosen 3 winners and I'm going to read their lovely fanfiction pieces here in this speed paint. The pieces they are writing from are roughly based around the context going on in Firestar's quest around pages 30 through 34. Let's jump right into it, like a bunny about to scratch some guy's eyes out. Woohoo! Rusty, ironically enough that's their username, I'm going to be reading their story. Super awesome story. I'm going to have links to all these people's profiles down below. Be sure to give them a follow.
Longtail, Brackenfur!
Longtail looked up upon hearing his name, seeing Greystripe, ThunderClan's deputy, looking down at him from the high rock.
I want you two to go hunting. Try near Snake Rocks, but be careful of the adders.
The Grey Warrior mewed, his amber eyes shimmering in the early morning sunlight. There was once a time when Longtail would have been furious that this warrior in particular was telling him what to do. But he was past that now. Listening to Tigerstar had been a terrible mistake. It had lost him most of his friends after Tigerstar was exiled. However, after the situation with the dog pack, Longtail had redeemed himself, and Firestar trusted him. And ever since the battle with BloodClan, ThunderClan had been at peace. Longtail? Longtail turned around to see a golden-brown tabby warrior, slightly larger than Longtail. He recognized Brackenfur instantly, although sometimes he confused him with his brother Thornclaw. He felt a pang of sadness when thinking about Thornclaw, for when he was still Thornpaw. But Tom and Longtail's apprentice Swiftpaw had been good friends. Longtail had loved Swiftpaw like he was his son, and had been furious with Bluestar when she refused to make Swiftpaw a warrior. Swiftpaw had gone out on his own, determined to prove himself a warrior. His friend Brightpaw had gone with him, and it had resulted in Swiftpaw's death, and Brightheart with her terrible injury. You ready to go? Brackenfur asked, his amber eyes gleaming excitedly. Longtail smiled at the younger warrior. Yes, lead the way, he mewed, standing up and following Brackenfur across the camp. Longtail meowed a quick hello to Mousefur and Willowpelts, who were padding out of the warrior's den and heading over to High Rock to be assigned to a patrol. He skirted around Dustpelt and Ferncloud's kid Spider-Kid and Shrew-Kid. The two were tussling in the middle of the clearing. Longtail purred and shoved them out of the way playfully. Their exciting squeaks cut off. Hey, watch it! You're gonna knock some cat off his paws, he told them. Spider-Kid narrowed his eyes at Longtail, and then he turned and whispered something in Shrew-Kit's ear. Shrew-Kit grinned mischievously, looking at Longtail. Longtail turned and followed Brackenfur out of the camp quickly, wondering what the kids were going to do to him later to get revenge. The fresh scents of the forest flooded around him, calming Longtail. He smiled happily. There was truly no place like ThunderClan. He couldn't believe that he had considered leaving with Tigerstar when he was exiled. The two Toms climbed up the ravine, and then took a path that would lead them to Snake Rocks. Longtail did not like Snake Rocks. Too many bad memories there. But he pushed them aside, forcing himself to concentrate on the forest noises around him. It was his duty to keep the clan well fed. He wasn't going to let his memories stop him. When they arrived, the gray rocks looming over them, Brackenfur immediately spotted a mouse, killing it quickly and easily. Nice catch, Longtail purred, and Brackenfur sat up, the mouse dangling in his jaws. Thanks, the other warrior murmured around his catch. He bent over, digging a hole to bury the mouse, and Longtail moved away, sniffing the air. He caught the scent of a rabbit, and crouched down, tracking the scent quietly and keenly. A whole rabbit could feed all of the elders. He could hear the grass ruffling slightly in front of him, and he guessed that was where the rabbit was. He unsheathed his claws and pounced. The rabbit squeaked as his paws hit the ground next to it, and then it took off running. Longtail hissed in exasperation and then ran after it. The rabbit might be fast, but Longtail knew he could be faster. Closer and closer he came, until its small bushy tail was right in front of his nose. Longtail prepared to strike, when all of a sudden, the rabbit whipped around. fear sparkling in its gaze, and it leapt at him, clawing his face. Instantly, Longtail fell to the ground, screeching as paint washed over him. His eyes, they felt like they were on fire, and he couldn't put it out. Even though he was rolling on the ground, blood pooled down his face, and some of it came into Longtail's mouth, its saltiness and coldness scaring him.
Longtail, where are you?
In the midst of all his pain, Longtail recognized the frantic mew of Brackenfur. He could hear his running paw steps, hear his gasp of horror, and then felt his teeth on his scruff as Brackenfur hauled Longtail upwards. He felt his tail brushing against the ground, snagging on roots and brambles. Longtail would have felt the pain in his tail if it wasn't for the terrible burning sensation in his eyes. He fell in and out of consciousness, screeching and yowling and whimpering in pain from time to time. And then, all of a sudden, he felt something cool and soft underneath him. He guessed it was a moss nest. The scent of herbs weaved around him, making it hard to breathe. Faint mews reached his ears, and he could feel warm breath on his face. He struggled for a second, trying to open his eyes and see where he was. But his eyes wouldn't open. A soft but firm paw pressed down on his shoulder, and he fell back into the nest. "It's okay, Longtail," a voice murmured. Longtail knew it sounded familiar, but all that he could detect was that it was a she-cat. "Eat this," the voice mewed again, pressing something against his muzzle. He opened his jaws and swallowed whatever it was that the she-cat had given him. The strong scent of herbs was messing with his senses. He started to feel woozy and sleepy. Longtail relaxed, and he was about to fall asleep when he heard the she-cat's voice, farther away than it was a few moments ago. He pricked his ears, hearing her last few words. "You'll never see again." Then, Longtail was lost in deep slumber. Wow, fantastic job with that story, Rusty. I really loved all the details you put into it. And you are a fantastic writer. Keep it up. I hope you enjoy being featured on the front page and the 50 amino coins that goes with that honor. Our second winner of having their story read has a different spin for their story, so I hope you guys will enjoy that one as well. The author of this fanfiction is Raindraws. So this story has a little bit of precursor information that you need to know to be able to understand it. So it's kind of referencing a scene that was in the book Enter the Clans, which kind of has short stories about the warrior code, and there's this one story in it where Longtail and Darkstripe have to go hunting because prey was scarce, and Poppy Dawn is an elder that's back in the camp who's fallen ill because of green cough, and their medicine cat says, "She really needs prey, please go out and get her prey." And so Longtail and Darkstripe go hunting, and Darkstripe convinces Longtail, we don't need to bring prey back to them. Let's eat this right now. We need strength so we can keep on hunting. And so they eat the prey. When they come back, they're not able to catch anything else, and Poppy Dawn dies. Oh no. So this story has stuff to do with Poppy Dawn dying and it being Longtail's fault. Alright, I'm going to start reading this story from Raindraws on My Amino. Longtail stood beside Rainpaw, glancing down at the young Tom. Cloudtail was in front of them, demonstrating a hunting move as he taught Rainpaw how to do the hunter's crouch. Longtail rolled his eyes, about to walk away, as Brackenfur crashed through the brambles, panting.
"Cloudtail! Longtail, come quick! There's a huge rabbit right over there!"
Brackenfur exclaimed excitedly, at the thought that he had been useful for finding prey. "Hey, maybe you and Longtail can catch it, while Rainpaw and I continue our training session," Cloudtail said, glancing over at Rainpaw and Longtail. Longtail just snorted, and Rainpaw says, "Yeah, sure, whatever. It's just a rabbit." Longtail turned around to face Brackenfur, his ears twitching at Rainpaw's remark. "Just a rabbit, huh?" A sweet, yet somehow malicious voice cooed. "It's not what you think, Longtail. You had better look out." The voice turned into an evil cackle, and Longtail saw the flash of a tortoiseshell, red, orange, black, and white, and seething yellow eyes. "You will suffer, Longtail. You caused Poppy Dawn's death." The voice whispered in his ear, and he felt a lithe yet scarred presence beside him.
That was a long time ago,
he managed to say, gulping down his anxiety. How did the spirit know what he had done? And what might she be talking about? Suffering? Rabbits may be small, but so is your courage. It was your fault, Longtail. You killed Poppy Dawn, and we will never forget a sin. You will suffer, Longtail. You will suffer. The voice trailed off, and Longtail glanced around, but did not catch the sight of anyone except for Brackenfur in front of him. Longtail's eyes were slightly wide, his face paler than usual. He shook out his pelt, just as Brackenfur began to crouch down to stalk the rabbit in front of them. Longtail opened his eyes and slammed into Brackenfur's rear by accident, his legs flailing as he hit the ground with a soft thud.
Watch out, Longtail!
Brackenfur hissed in annoyance as the rabbit's ears perked up at the sound of Longtail falling.
Whoa, Longtail, are you alright? You look like you've just seen a ghost!
Brackenfur exclaimed quietly. Longtail shook his head in disapproval at how openly concerned the Tom was acting, and then Longtail crouched into a hunter's crouch himself. I didn't see one, but I heard her, he thought anxiously.
Right towards you, and you cut it off!
Brackenfur was explaining. Longtail could only guess the first half. He nodded, pretending to understand, and slunk towards the other end of the clearing. He watched as the rabbit stared at where Brackenfur was as he was readying himself to pounce. And then it let out a loud squeak of surprise as Brackenfur sprang from the bushes, his jaws dripping purposely with saliva to strike fear into the rabbit. The prey turned and hurried towards where Longtail was laying in wait, and Longtail just paced out of the bushes, his chin tilted upwards defiantly. He leaned down at the rabbit, purring at how scared and fearful it looked. He swiftly tried to grab the rabbit by the neck, but it turned on its abnormally large paws, facing its cottontail right at Longtail's face. Longtail spit out small amounts of rabbit pelt that had gotten caught in his mouth, and turned back to the rabbit, ready to make that killing bite. But it never happened. The rabbit never touched his jaws. It turned on him. He felt wave after wave of pain wash over him. I can't see! He wailed, his eyes full of blood and pain. His vision went from his surroundings being crystal clear to becoming hazy red, to being pitch black with small splotches of red everywhere.
Brackenfur! I can't see!
He yowled, and he stumbled forwards. He felt his paws catch him.
I can't see! Help me!
Longtail panted, facing upwards towards where he thought Brackenfur's face was. Longtail, you will now have lifelong suffering, the voice from earlier whispered.
Firestar will help you! Don't worry, Longtail!
Brackenfur's voice echoed in Longtail's ears, along with a few more murmured voices.
Here, lean on Rainpaw. We'll get you back to camp.
Cloudtail's voice rang in his ears, and Longtail nodded, putting his head down in shame of being useless as he leaned against Rainpaw.
Oh, I'm sorry, Longtail, but Cinderpelt will fix you up. You'll be okay.
Rainpaw stammered. Longtail could hear the uncertainty in his voice.
Oh, it's okay. I know I'll never be able to see again. I'm useless now.
Longtail groaned as pain seared his face once again. Rainpaw gave a small grunt as he held Longtail up with more force than before.
You're not useless,
Rainpaw panted, and then they stopped abruptly. Longtail smelled the air, scenting the scents of his clanmates. Some smelled of fear, others horror, some curiosity. And then there was one that was singled out. The smell of death, rotting trees, and decay. The spirit who had foretold his future to him was still here. She cackled and prickled his eyes softly with her claws.
My eyes!
Longtail yowled in agony, stumbling forward and accidentally bumping into Cloudtail's rear.
I can't see!
He repeated, wailing it as loud as possible, as though nobody could hear his pain. You will now be blind and useless. Remember, it was your fault. It will always be your fault she died. The voice whispered maliciously.
Who are you?
Longtail thought of the spirit angrily. She made a sort of sneering noise. My name is Mapleshade, and you, Longtail, are now my pawn forever. You will suffer eternal pain, and your life will end as you become a servant to others, trying to prove your worth. But you will never have use again, Longtail. Never! The she-cat known as Mapleshade cackled once again loudly. And then Longtail's red-black vision blurred even more, and it went all black as he passed out thoroughly. The only voice he heard was Firestar's.
You'll be good as new tomorrow, Longtail. You'll have use once again.
And as Longtail felt the feeling of falling into a dark and useless abyss, he thought, "No, I will not." Wow, that was a super interesting story, Raindraws. Great job with the creativity on that one. I really liked how you pulled in the details from that short story in Enter the Clans of how Longtail and Darkstripe ate the prey that possibly caused Poppy Dawn to die. I'm not quite sure if Mapleshade would know Poppy Dawn well enough to care that she died like that, but I can see Mapleshade wanting to inflict pain upon anyone. And I like that his eyesight loss would have a little bit more meaning of wanting him to have like a personal pain attributed to it. And that it's like a punishment from the Dark Forest. I like that. Anyways, great job with that one. For our last reading for today, I wanted to pull a small segment from the end of Ravencry's story. I just thought the ending to this story was super cute. So pretty much in this story, it's been Longtail's point of view the whole time, and then as it ends, it's kind of like it's just been Longtail telling this story in the Elder's Den to some kids or something. Mousefur nudged him. You always tell that story, and I swear, it gets more interesting every time. She laughed, lying onto her paws. I remember the old territory. I remember when you bravely fought a kitty pets, and now you're under his leadership, she said softly. Longtail chuckled. Ah, yes, Mousefur. The old territory had so many of our clanmates, so many of our loved ones. It makes me wish I had never left. He said this blindly, grabbing for her paw. Thanks, Mousefur, for listening to the same old story over and over again. Longtail purred softly, and she nudged up against him. Yeah, no problem, she said, falling asleep next to him. With all these dramatic stories, I just thought it'd be cute to end on a cute little note. And that cute note of shipping Longtail and Mousefur brings us into our next speed paint for tomorrow. We're gonna be drawing Longtail and Mousefur. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed all of these amazing fan fictions written by people on my Amino. Be sure to check out the links to their profiles down below. Give them a follow. Show some love to their awesome stories. I'm excited to announce the character for this upcoming week is Swiftpaw, and we will be needing some fan fictions of his point of view, perspectives of him getting attacked by the dogs, because things really aren't written from that point of view. We have Brightheart's point of view and some different short stories and stuff like that, but we need Swiftpaw's point of view, and I'd love to read one or a couple of you guys' fan fiction, so be sure to tag some stories over on my Amino that you guys write with hashtag Swiftpaw's death. Hope to see that over on my Amino. Love you guys all so much. Thank you for watching this speed paint. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye!